share how this Interfaith Alliance answers that call and expand on his message?
We'll try. No, thank you, Turkson, for this invitation to make a statement. Gathered here, under the banner, Stakeholders for Sustainable World, religious leaders under this interfaith are being invited to recognize that we as stakeholders contribute the wisdom of our religious traditions to maintaining, working for a sustainable world. Therefore, this particular contribution that we have to make, the wisdom of our religious traditions, is the thing that we bring to Davos and to all of this conversation. Some of them haven't been referred to by the previous speakers. I'd like to draw attention to one of such wisdoms, and it is, for example, wisdom contained in current present-day reference to the world as a cosmos. The reference to created reality as cosmos simply means that it's an ordered system, which because of its being an ordered system is also beautiful and attains its purpose of maintaining and sustaining human life. Now, it also suggests that this ordered system was brought into being by some power. In the tradition of the Jewish scriptures, Christian Old Testament, this is referred to as the creation of the world by God. As a result of God's creation, the world is an ordered system meant to sustain human life. This also means that because it was brought into being, it can revert into chaos. It can revert into chaos when we, from our conduct and all, abuse it, disregard the conditions which make it a cosmos, and make it fall into disarray. That is why Pope Francis, in his encyclical letter, Laudato Si', draws attention to this. And he identifies two cries. He says the earth is crying to us, and the poor of the earth are also crying to us. So the earth, which was meant to be the home of humanity, has become two elements which are now crying to us because the earth, the home of humanity, is falling to disarray. And that is what calls for our attention. All of us, or the very many people, all of us having been born into families, have an experience of this. When a baby begins to cry, the parents go to it, they pay attention, they try to save it from the situation which is causing the cry. And if, with the analogy of Pope Francis, the earth and its poor are crying to us, then there is an urgency on the part of humanity to go to these elements which are crying to us and to try to save them, to help them stop crying. That is the urgency of the situation in which we live in. Scientists and economists will talk about the world being at a tipping edge. And the tipping edge discourse brings urgency to the situation, and that's why we like to present as the need to stop the earth and its poor from crying. And so we're here as guests of Davos, as the World Economic Forum. And being here as a guest, one of the elements we can bring to this and attempt to stop the earth from crying is what Professor Schwab describes as, here technology and all the wisdoms of the earth are coming to fashion a global consciousness for a change. For a change, because he says that technology and all what comes up here should not determine what human life is and what we become. We should rather make use of technology and everything that comes to work for the common good. Common good of the humanity just invites us then to recognize the well-being of the earth and its inhabitants. So let's respect the dignities of people. Let us ensure the earth is a safe place for us and those who will come after us. And let us ensure that this supports the well-being of all. There is no second world, as people are used to saying, and for the earth as a common home is something that we are all invited to sustain. So it supports us now and continues to support those who will come after us. A universal and intergenerational solidarity should characterize our gestures and our action.